Whoa! I totally didn't see you over there. Okay, so hi, welcome back. My name is Mateo. This is, my therapist told me to read a few books, so this is what I decided to read for the past 2 weeks. Lately I've been just trying to let out my feelings in like the best way possible. Then I ended up being really vulnerable, and I don't know if my personality really matches with that. But today I decided to read for the past few weeks, I decided to read Stephen C. Myers, New York Times bestselling author of Darwin's Doubt, and I haven't read that, Return of God Hypothesis. Basically how, scientifically, he's always been like sort of skeptical, right? But lately, he's made a lot of like compelling arguments, like 3 main points as to why God could be real and why he believes he's real. But I think you should read it for yourself, because whether you're agnostic or you are an atheist, I think it's a good read, But really what I wanted to talk about were, the existential crisis that we all go through, and I don't know if it's like a generational thing, like Gen Z. Oh yeah, Gen Z is gonna take over like the world. No, I don't think that. Like at the end of the day, like you're going to go through hardships, right? All this stuff that's been hurtled towards like we're constantly facing something new that hasn't been seen before, hasn't been dealt with. And I'm gonna say that it's social media for sure, but it's also like your friends or the pressure that you get. Really, I wanted to talk about how things are harder on, this new day and age of like technology and trying to find a job after, it's harder to find a job more than ever because of like when you were born. And like, I'm a teenager in like a suburban town in California. So I don't think I have the right to speak entirely on hardships for the most part, but you can hear my fridge in the back. You can hear my fridge in the background. Like I have a mini fridge. Maybe I'm lower middle class. I am middle class, but people shouldn't be able to tell you that you can't be depressed because of your circumstantial or your situation, right? When they look at your circumstances at face value and they tell you like you shouldn't be going through this because you're tired of it, you're probably faking it, right? So I want to become a better person, right? And that starts with myself, obviously. Like if you want to better yourself, like for example, like I'm sure at the start of the video, like I recorded this 7 hours later, but I didn't record the part where I went on a jog, or I went into the gym. I recorded the car ride there and the monotony of it, I think. I want, like, obviously, like, I keep saying obviously, but like you want things to be different. Like I'm pointing like, oh, of course, Mateo, that's the entire point of it all, right? You have to make like joy out of mundane things. Like you keep repeating that as if like we don't know it. Like you guys do know it. You guys do know that it's so much more than that too. So to sit down and think to yourself, it's never going to be different, is completely atrocious take, because then you're never going to get better. You think it's obvious, and I keep like restating that it is obvious, but we are in a serious predicament where we are in like the trenches, unironically, but we are constantly like waiting for something to happen. Like our generation has gotten incredibly good at being emotionally intelligent in a sense. Like they can emotionally process really well, as I've said before, but we can't get out of it, you know. Well, we're emotionally aware, I'm so sorry, but we can't process and, you know, or we can, but we're too lazy, or we're too deep in our rut to fully get out of it in that sense. So that's part of it.
I don't know, hindi ba merong chicken curry?
No, I know there's curry, but is there anything else?
I don't think so, bud.
Can you go out?
Well, can you just ask Daddy because I'm still waiting for Kate to finish practice.
I'll pay for it.
You have money?
Of course I do.
Okay, I love you.
Wait, I love you too. Wait, but you can't get any food?
Oh, I'm not gonna be home till later because there's traffic.
Oh, I can DoorDash. It's good.
No, just ask Daddy, Matt. Can you call him?
What should I ask him for?
I don't know.
Oh, like, should I just go out and get food?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, I love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I think a lot of us grow up with like loving parents, but a lot of us also don't. It's like you're in a completely different like scenario than, you know, if you, like, a lot of people like to say that your circumstances don't define you, and I think that's really true, because like if you grew up in like a very like shitty household and you don't know, like you make your own, like you make your own luck, you know, like you're top of the world, like you're, I don't know, you like you know what, like what's right and wrong from a moral standpoint, right? But you didn't have anyone to guide you, but you wish you did. You need good parenting, like, to help you become a better person, you know. But you can, again, like, I speak on the topic of parents as someone who has great parents, you know, and I love my mom and dad. So that's something that's a very privileged take on adulthood and, you know, raising a child. So I think I'm very lucky in that aspect. I'm very fortunate. But for people who are down in the dumps in that, but you still have integrity, and, you know, you can still reminisce on times where, you know, you have other things, you have other people in your life, you know, that help you out, and they don't have to be your parents, really. They're just anybody that makes you feel like happy, you know, or makes you feel good. If you do something bad, you're going to be blamed for it. There's no excuse. You can say that your circumstances are to blame, but at the end of the day, you are you, and it will be your fault. You will be held accountable for your actions. That is true, you know. Same can be said for if you are down in the dumps, you have no one to help you. At the end of the day, whether you have a great, and again, this might be a really spoiled take, but this is just me conveying what my thoughts are, but you can either be in the best financial situation, best family situation, you can be in the best academic position, you know, you can be in all of that, or you could be none of that, right? And still the onus is on you to, you know, become this different person, because, like, let's just say both of the people that I just mentioned that were in two totally different scenarios or situations, they differ in those aspects, but at the end of the day, they both have to change. And that can be hard because, again, your problems are also circumstantial. So I think, you know, in that aspect of life, and, you know, like when you're starting to figure yourself out, especially in like your teenage years all the way to, you know, your adulthood, which I have no right to give advice in, but I know, like, in our childhood years when our prefrontal cortex hasn't fully developed, right? I want to find my people, you know, and in a sense, I want them to feel better on this journey. Cause like at the end of the day, guys, we're all going up. We're all gonna like go through this together, right? We're gonna go up the stairs together. Everything will be okay. Anyway, back on topic, whether you are in a rut, or you suffered something really traumatic, you're going through grief, sorrow, or some melancholy, right? Depression, you know, seasonal, or you're going through an episode right now where you just got out of one and you don't know what to do in your life, right? And whether you want to blame your situation or blame your generation, or you just want to do anything but take accountability or responsibility for your actions, it's always going to be on you at the end of the day to change. So I know like drowning in attention and all of this stuff can seem like comforting in that sense, because like you get to go out and people are going to pity you, or you're going to think it's sympathy, but really half the time it's pity, or half the time people just want to care about you to care. And that sounds like a good thing. It's not, because then that's all there is to you. You're already building this new reputation of being the one that's drowning in the lake, right? And then your hand is up, but you don't want to be saved. Like you're just kicking your own legs until they get too tired, and like every time like someone reaches, you're like, oh, I don't want to agree. Like, okay, that was a bad analogy, but the point is that on your journey to enlightenment, to become a better person, you will have to go through these obstacles, and you will have to you'll have to jump over this, like, or that's a bad way of putting it, but Papa, can you lower the volume, please? Papa, can you lower the volume, please? Okay, look, I'm not telling you that change is a bad thing, you know, but change should be inevitable, or else you are going to feel like, in the worst way possible, apathetic about everything. And I've always said this, I've always been a firm believer in this. You need to go out, and then you need to look at like the small things, and then you need to be like, yo, wow. Or, you know, you need to live for the small things. Again, I always say that. That's like, I'm telling all of the advice that I would default say someone to tell someone that's being vulnerable. When they ask me like, I don't know how to feel. Sometimes I don't get like the responses I expect, because now I'm sounding condescending as hell, but I have no idea how to convey my thoughts. Like, if sometimes you purposely have to sound dumber to like make someone feel better, and then you can't like portray exactly how you want to say that, so you say it in a worse way. Okay, I'm sidetracking. You're going to have to change, and change starts with yourself. You're going to have to wake up, because maybe like you wake up at like 2 p.m. and then you doom scroll for 4 hours, and then you eat lunch, right? Like, dude, this waking up at 4:30 in the morning actually work? It does. I went to the gym, bro. And then I went for a jog for an hour 30 while listening to Anything Goes. You know, besides that, right? Like Colin Samir is another good one. That, like, what am I talking about? I think in order to present yourself like to the world as a better person, like if you're looking for validation, don't. But also, you have to, you know, first look in the mirror and love yourself first. Love how you look. Don't look for the attention of others. Maybe I should like take this. It's gonna be on you to wake up in the morning. It's gonna be on you to do that homework that you keep on procrastinating and putting off. It's gonna be on you to say yes to that friend or that friend group that keeps asking you to do that thing. It's gonna be on you to change your life for the better. It's gonna be you that walks out of the house one day and goes out. It's gonna be you that decides to volunteer somewhere or show up to work. It's always on you. It's never not been on you, right? And that's like the illusion that we've been building while we've been silently like battling, right? So I think that's where we have to start. So existential crisis or not, I think what this video was supposed to be about was the existential crisis in this book, Return of the God Hypothesis by Stephen C. Meyer. I was going to say Stephen A. Okay, but plug this book. This is a really great book. But I don't think I really want to believe that everything will be okay. We are literally in the worst possible scenario. I mean, we were born at a really bad time where it's like bittersweet, but imagine like being made fun of at this time, or imagine being like imagine telling a white lie in this. That's totally worth being exiled over. Or imagine being cringe, or imagine being outcasted. That is a completely random different story. Like you could be called Turkish Quandale Dingle in this generation, and you will be known for that your entire life. The point, or look, in conclusion, how about that? Yo, Miss Sethu, how about that? Everything will be okay. Don't stress about it. I don't know how much I'm gonna cut out, but just know that. Just know that. Subscribe, hit the bell. Don't